Your thing.
Hello, everybody. It is your girl, Kayla G, here with Carol for Big Sister Sesh.
Ah.
This is one of my besties from college.
Mhm.
We're about to share our sobriety journey with you. I've already shared mine a bunch, but she has recently hit, you're like, what, 105 days now?
Yeah. No,
Wow, on the
106 today.
nose.
Today. Yes.
106. Let's go. She's
Yes.
at the 106 mark, which is fantastic and amazing and beautiful and brave. And
Thank you, my
we're
love.
gonna just talk about her journey, and offer a different perspective than mine because y'all have
Mm.
already heard me talk at
But
nauseam.
we love to hear you talk. And hearing you say that out loud literally makes me feel like honestly like weird because you were a huge part of the reason why I decided to go sober. Like, no, truthfully though, like seeing your podcast when I was drinking and knowing this shit, we'll get into it, but like knowing like what our friendship was like in college and like the patterns of the life that we were living, to see you grow, it was so inspiring to me. So real
Thanks,
shit.
girl. Yeah, you guys don't even know. Me and this girl, we go.
we we talk about like first days of college type shit.
Yeah, like drinking some Everclear out of a water bottle type shit.
That's what we're talking about.
Oof,
But
it
we
was
still made it to
brutal.
work every time.
Yeah, oh my God. And we worked together. Wow, what a time. That was a bond like no other. But yeah, so
Yeah.
our friendship started in college. I don't
Mhm.
even remember how we met
I really,
because
you know
we
what?
were
I was
probably
thinking
blackout.
about that. Yeah, probably, probably. A huge part, like to also mention too, it's like we went to East Carolina, which is like, I went there knowing that it was a party school, and that was probably a huge reason why I went there. I don't know
I
about
had
you.
no idea. I had no idea that it was a party school. My
What?
shout out Mama Guns, she did my entire college search for me because I was like a depressed teenager. I was like, fuck this shit. And
Okay.
she like picked three random ass schools, so it's her fault actually.
That's crazy to me, especially because we're both coming from Jersey. Like, I saw the I'm Smack video and I was sold. I was like, I want to be there.
I didn't see that video until I think like my first week in college. I had no idea, and I said, so yeah, we're
Alcoholic are
both
you?
from, huh?
I said, what kind of alcoholic are you?
Girl, the worst kind. But yeah, we both went to a huge party school. I don't know how we met, but our friendship was like very much drinking heavy, partying heavy,
Yes.
but obviously we have a soul connection too. Like a
Yes.
lot of friends, I feel like it can be one or the other. You can have your party friends and then you're like real peeps, but we were both, which is so
Yes, I
nice and fun and
agree.
dandy. And then we worked together. Did I start working there first and then you got a
Yes.
job there?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, I was just drunk the whole time and don't remember that facet of
But the
my
thing
life.
was, that was the environment of the job. Like, if you were not saying we were drunk at work, but like the huge part of like the
Yeah, we were.
restaurant industry, we probably were. We were showing up half drunk. But the huge part of the restaurant industry is like you work really hard and then you get drunk after. Like, that was the cycle we were in, like almost every day.
At least Thursday to Sunday.
Yes, that we'll frame it that way. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fucking time.
And we were
Sure.
miserable, dude. Like we were pushing through. I just remember because me and you were so similar in that journey of like how like anxious and depressed drinking made us. And I just remember like just us just feeling like this shame and guilt the next day. Like we were in it together.
You know, we were thugging it out. But we kept on. We kept on keeping
No.
on.
Listen, I would
Until
not be, yeah, no, continue.
no, right. What were you saying?
I was gonna
Um,
say, like, to be fully transparent, did we have amazing times together? Yeah. Like,
I don't
despite drinking or not.
I don't regret the times that I've had. I definitely could have stopped after college. Like, I wish I didn't go so hard. I think I had a really fun time. I think it's taught me some shit in a weird
Mm-hmm.
way, but I definitely could not have continued the way that I did. And so, as you guys all know, my 5 followers who are loyalists and know everything about my life, you know that I stopped drinking about a year and a half ago.
Yes. My God.
Thanks. And so we can just start with Carol explaining
Hmm.
what really like lit the fire under you. I know it was more gradual for you than it was for me,
Hmm.
but yeah, why don't you start there, girl?
Yeah, I mean, as we talk about college, it's crazy because I think for a lot of people, they think like when you stop drinking, there has to be this like rock bottom moment. And there was definitely situations in college that should have been rock bottom for me. But like I couldn't come to the terms that like it was a problem. I think a lot because of the environment we're in. Like it was very normalized to like binge drink Thursday through Sunday and not just like what you did. So like to me, I would compare myself to everyone and be like, I can't have a problem. Like I would go through these scenarios in my mind. I'm like, why do I not remember anything that happened last night? But everyone else around me seems like, they had a good time. And so, like, for me, like, rock bottom is really just the depression and anxiety I was feeling that made me be like, I need to just give this up once for and all because this is not to go against the sober curiosity movement, but I tried that. I tried that for a good year and a half, and it just really wasn't working for me. Like, moderation was actually causing me more stress. And I've noticed since I've like gone sober that like abstinence allows me to like, I just don't have to think about it because I'm not doing it at all.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Yeah. And for some, like I guess I had more of a, unhealthy relationship. So to some, of course, like limit your drinking in the way that works best for you. Great. But for me, like I think I'm happy that I did that because it kind of paved the way to being completely sober for me. So I don't regret it. But looking back now, I'm like that actually wasn't as helpful as I thought it was in the moment I was trying it.
And I feel the same way. I always dabbled with like drinking or like just trying to
Hmm.
do moderation, and I always felt fucking worse afterwards because I'd be
Yep.
like, I'm only gonna have two drinks, and then as soon as I had that second drink, I'm like, well, like
Yeah.
you might as well. And then you feel like fucking shit because not only did you drink a bunch, you also broke trust with yourself by doing something you said you weren't going to do. Which fucking
Hmm.
and I just feel like we have the addict brain of like moderation works for I know people who can have one glass of wine at night and like that's it. But that's just my personality. Like the way that they can do that, I can't do that. As soon as I get that little taste, the little demon comes to me and she says,
Hmm.
"Have another glass."
No,
What's
legit.
what's a cigarette?
And it's crazy because now that I'm like not sober, I like people I'll be at dinner and like people are drinking around me and like they haven't finished their drink and like they're not even thinking about that. And why do I notice myself thinking about that for them?
You're like, are you gonna like what are you gonna just leave that there?
Like you're not gonna order another
What are you
glass
gonna
of wine?
do? And touching back on what you said about like waking up and everyone just normalizing that we're like, oh, no one knows how we got home and like fucking blah blah blah, lost her shoes and her keys and this and
Hmm.
it feels like a genuine group psychosis. That's the term that I heard somebody it is though, because we're all just like normalizing.
Yeah,
Like we're all just like, yep, this is fine. Like it's literally not. It's actually
yeah.
very bad. Don't
And like
remember.
think about on how unsafe. Like I literally don't remember how I got home. Like the amount of things that could have happened to me
Yeah.
that I put myself at risk to, like
Mm-hmm.
that's to me when I think back, I'm like that actually only gives me more like clarity that I'm doing the right thing
100%.
and gratitude.
Always knowing how you got home, always being able to leave whenever you want because you drove yourself there because you're sober and yeah,
Hmm.
that's the best
Hmm.
feeling ever. Like
Hmm.
always just like not having to like remember what you said because you said the truth because you or like you weren't just fucked up and like can't remember if you like
Yeah.
or some type of way. That was a big anxiety for me was always asking people. I remember asking people all the time like was I okay?
Oh
Was I
my
okay?
God.
That question. I'm
No, literally every time. I'm sure if you pull up text messages from us from 2016, it's us just going, was I okay last night? How did I get home? Like just like a constant cycle of, that those fears. And it's like, that's valid because you like you should know those things.
100%. Blacking out
Yeah.
or even browning out as it became to be known, like not quite blacking out is crazy. And people are doing that
Hmm.
still. Like there are people our age doing that
Hmm.
weekly, sometimes a couple times a week. That's fucking crazy to me. Like
But it's like it's crazy because you'll hear like normal drinkers, normies as many call them, like they will talk about just the blackout experience and never have had that before, can't relate to that. And to me, I'm just like, that's what would happen to me almost every time that I drank. Like real
mm-hmm,
shit.
mm-hmm.
And like, or even owning up to that, like the embarrassment that I would have, like I wouldn't be honest with the people that I went out with the night before that I didn't remember certain things. I would lie about
Me too. I'd be like, oh yeah, like, and
it.
sometimes they would kind of catch me because they'd be like, like when blah 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 happened, and I'd be like, right, and they were like, and I said,
Yup, yup,
I know exactly what we're talking about.
yup.
Perfect. Yeah. Speaking of the safety thing too, I remember one time I went to SantaCon and I got
I blacked out
so
at SantaCon
drunk.
too.
And I got so drunk and I was like, I'm leaving. I left by myself. I got an Uber and I
Mm,
fell asleep in the Uber. Like, if that was a dude, that could have been a really creepy thing. I remember it was a
mhm.
girl, but God forbid it was a dude. It was during the day that I left too, but if it was at night, a guy could have easily been so creepy. The risk that I put myself in. Oh my God. I think back and I'm
And it's
just
like instead of the thinking of the scenarios that you're describing and like hating yourself for it, it's like it only gets you to this point that you're at now.
hmm
you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
and that's what I try to look at it, because like even like I'll see snapshots of us from like working at Shogun and us like pouring shots and like me just like looking also too. I look at that person and I know I'm so early in, but it's like I look at that person and I'm just like, who is that? Who is
Yeah. I see pictures of me or videos of me from like, especially when I was in my abusive relationship and I was drinking super heavily and yeah, and I won't go down. But, so, yeah, I remember when I was drinking so much and in that terrible relationship, like I looked like fucking
Yep, yep,
shit.
yep.
The way that I was so bloated and like my skin and
Yes.
my hair and the bags under my eyes were just,
Girl, not cute. Like
mm-mm,
I like, especially when we were on the graduating time of being at ECU, like that's when I hit rock bottom for sure.
dang. I don't remember.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
you graduated regular, right? You didn't do an extra year
No,
the way that I did. You didn't take an extra lap around.
no, I graduated on time, but still, um, yeah, didn't see pictures and videos of that moment in time, and just like
Yeah.
I feel like COVID definitely gave me some time to reflect, like when I got out of school and was like having that identity crisis of like, what am I gonna do with my life? And like there actually, you know what, you were in a sense, I think a lot of people were coping with alcohol during that time, of course. But I also too, because bringing up the addictive personality, because I have a distorted eating past, when I would drink a lot, the fears and anxiety about gaining weight I would have, or like missing a workout. So honestly, if I didn't have that, those like that, like I guess like inner thought process, because healing is linear, that voice is always there. I feel like maybe I would have been drinking more than I,
Mm,
because I was like,
dang.
does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like it could have been even worse,
Yeah,
but like the other thing. Love
we're
that.
all a little fucked up here.
No, I get that. I also would feel the anxiety. And that was the thing I would make myself do when I was in college because I had Adderall prescribed too. I would like binge drink, wake up, rip an Adderall, drink 2 bottles of bottles? What? Like two giant things of coffee,
Hmm.
not eat breakfast, go through my classes, go to the gym, come home, eat
Yeah.
like one meal, and then go out and do it all over again. Go to work and then do it all over again. Like I was burning myself at both ends. I don't know why that came into my mind because that didn't really pertain to what you were just saying.
Well,
Was it?
that does remind me though of like what I will say, as much as like we tried to, I feel like we mask our addictive tendencies with like hyper independence and like overworking ourselves, overextending ourselves. That just like we're very similar in the way that we cope.
Mm,
Does that make sense? So when you were sharing your journey, I'm like, I very much relate. We've always, like you said, had that connection with each other, but like, especially when you were like noticing the changes that like going sober has done for you, I'm like, I want that. And the only thing stopping me from getting it is myself.
T. Well, we're on the other side now, girl.
Girl,
Almost. We're here. We still got the healing part.
yes, yes.
But yeah. Okay. So what did I have next for us?
And it is like kind of funny, like we were always people that like prioritize like our health and wellness while we're also like binge drinking. Like the two can't make sense. And
No.
that was another huge thing for me that like I always wanted to kind of hide and not even think about really. Like, I don't know.
I feel like I would have been so jacked in college if I didn't drink and ate
We were
protein. because I was working out like a beast, but I didn't fucking eat protein and I was binge drinking.
No, I'm like, what were we training for?
For what? Girl? For beer Olympics.
No, but seriously, like I was a meathead in the gym when I was in college, and it's crazy to think about like how much I was like ruining my body by drinking
Yeah.
on top of it. Like it's crazy.
I love the TikToks that are like like in the gym and like blah 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 for the most mid physique. I'm like literally that was me. Like it kept me like slender, but I could have had fucking like muscles if I just ate right and didn't drink my body weight in alcohol. But hey,
But
what
dude,
you
it's
gonna do?
crazy though because it's not like I ever thought that like not drinking was an option for me. Like it's like we're saying these things, we could have done this X, Y, and Z, and it's like we
No,
could have
we sure
not
could
drank.
have. Yeah. Like, nah, couldn't be
Like
that.
that's
Couldn't be that. No, for real. And I remember I went through I remember being like, this world, like, so toxic. And I
Mhm.
remember very clearly deleting all my social media and being like, what's all this for? And I don't know why I didn't think all the substances and drinking was like a problem too. I wish I was
Mhm.
getting there. I was getting there. But we're here now.
And I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much. You too, girl. You too.
We made it out the trenches.
We made it out the hardest part and we made it out alive.
It's heavy on the alive part. Like
Heavy, extra emphasis.
if you know, you know. But we'll keep it at that.
What do you feel has been the hardest part of getting
Mm.
sober?
I think as much as, I try to shed light on like how much it's like bettered my life thus far, like there's definitely things that are difficult. I think like you grieve that part of you in a sense, at least I did, of yourself as like a drinker. I think like I wanted to stop drinking, but I didn't for as long as I hadn't because I was like, I need to keep up this identity, this like version of the way people see me, which like isn't cute, but it was very much like loves to party, loves to have a good time, loves to be out till 4 a.m., always down to see where the next function is. Like, I wanted to not allow people to see me differently when I was only hurting myself. And so I would say that has been difficult, but it's gotten a lot easier. I think it can feel lonely. And I don't know if you feel this way too. Like, going through this journey can definitely feel lonely, but I think what helps you get through that is like joining a sober community of some sort, whatever that might look like for you. To me, it's like making TikToks, it's reaching out to people that I know personally that don't drink, you specifically. And I am part of AA. So I go, a few times a week. And I take parts of it that like stick out to me. Everyone has their own relationship with that. We won't go too much into it. And like it is really like what works for you. But that is a huge part of like the community here in the city that's been like helpful. Like young girls that like are dealing with the same life shit that we're dealing with, but they're doing it sober. And like that motivates and inspires me. So yeah, I feel like those things. Watching, what's huge? What I have to admit, watching reality TV, watching them
Is
just casually drink. Yeah, it's hard.
I don't watch reality TV like that, so I don't
Yeah.
feel that way, but still elaborate. I'm
No,
interested.
it's hard for me because I think you see them kind of like celebrate like during celebratory events, them drinking, just catching up with the girls, going to dinner, getting drinks. Like I like lived for those moments. Like I was so excited to just, and I still, obviously, as we know, you can still do those things,
Hmm.
but something about just the action
Hmm.
of just going out to drink was something that was like, and the way that I'm describing it is very much romanticizing it, and that's what I
That's
felt
the
like I
word that
did.
just popped
Yeah.
in my head. But it is hard, and I
Mm-hmm.
felt that way myself at the stage that you're at too. Like
Mm-hmm.
I would say probably it helps to have a partner that doesn't drink too, but probably up until like the 250-day mark, I feel like that was still a struggle of being like, ah, like just going to like a trendy little bar, putting on a cute little outfit, da 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 da.
Yes.
But you truly, I don't even think about that shit anymore. Because now, one, I hate going out like that. Like, I like to go out to dinners and shit, but to a bar,
Mm-hmm.
can't be fucked. Or I plan so many things with my friends that aren't like revolved around drinking. I'll plan a bunch of dinners. I'll try to have the girls over.
I
just
love
do you want
that.
to go to yoga, blah 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 blah. So there's not, it's like those opportunity, I don't know, that's just less in my life now. And I don't get invited to do that shit either anymore because my friends know that that's not my jam.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But yeah, it passes is what I'm trying to get at.
No, I appreciate you saying that too, because I think that's what I'm realizing now too. It's like because you don't necessarily want to be in those spaces as much anymore, like your friends that are meant to be in your life that are supportive of your journey, like they're also open to trying new things and that don't involve drinking too. So
Hmm.
it like expands, like it honestly is exciting because it's like there's so many different things to do, especially in your city too, I'm sure. That's to be explored. And like I was wasting so much time just like being hungover on the weekends that I didn't even have the energy or the money to do a lot of these things that I can do now.
100%.
Bring it back.
What was I gonna fucking say? Okay, two things. Two things. I love how when one of you starts to get sober in the friend group, others tend to like, they're like, oh, like it's kind of the new thing. Is like people are like when one person starts to get sober and other people are like, oh, like I'll do that sober shit. Like I'll hop on the bandwagon. And I feel like a lot of my friends have
Mhm.
mellowed out with the drinking, which I kind of like. I don't know if you feel like any of your friends have followed suit, but I
Yeah,
feel like I don't know, once one person gets like past the glitz and glamour of the going out lifestyle, I feel like it starts to, and you start to succeed, and like my life 10x'd when I stopped
ah,
drinking, and I feel like so many of my friends saw that
I love
and started
that.
to kind of chill on the drinking as well. And then the second part I wanted to bring up was your experience, or I guess both of our experiences in the beginning when you still want to be that bitch that goes out and parties and blah 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 blah
Dude,
blah. But then the switch to like actually I don't give a single fuck because the vibes
yeah.
are off.
Yo, you told me this, like I've reached out to you telling you like I wanted to, exert myself. I wanted to make it be known like, hey, I'm gonna still go out, I'm gonna still be this person. You were like, just wait, just give it a little bit. I think
Yeah, I
I was
was
literally
like,
10 days in when I texted you.
no, it was so early. And I was like, and you can do that. And
Yeah.
you can do that. But in my head, I'm like, she's gonna come back here. She's gonna come back and be like, you're so right. And that
Yeah.
main thing is just you feel people's energy so much more. And at the bar, when everyone's in group psychosis, because
Mm,
sorry, that's what it is. Sorry, normies. But like you feel the chaos so much more. Everybody is so numb to it because that's what alcohol does. It literally like dulls your
yeah.
senses so much. And when you're sober around people who are like they're
Like
big
the
energy
word you can't
times.
describe. It's just an energy thing. It's an energy thing. And I
Yeah.
literally made a TikTok about this the other day. Like I came to the realization like I'm always gonna be at this energy level and I'm never really gonna, there's gonna be obviously highs and lows, but like to get to the energy and wavelength that like I felt in a bar that I went to recently, I was like, I'm not gonna be there and that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to be anymore, you know?
100%.
So
100%. It's like I'm actually cool down here. Instead, and I get it though. You don't want your, like you were saying, you don't want your friends to think you've changed, blah 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 blah, but the real ones will understand. And I remember the first time I went to a proper bar, maybe the second time I went to a proper bar, trying to be that bitch that could still hang. It was for my friend's birthday, so I was like, I really have to fucking rally. Like,
yeah,
it's one of my best friends here. I had to, but
yeah.
I was there for maybe 45 minutes, and I was like, I'm gonna have a fucking panic attack. Like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And from then on, I was like, I can't pretend to be this bitch. Like, I am
Yeah.
not her. I am literally not her.
And that's okay. And that's okay. We're humans, we
Mhm.
evolve. Like we don't need to be that person. And like, yeah, it's a harsh reality you have to come to. And that's a lot of the people pleasing tendencies that we have. But I don't know if you relate to this, like setting the boundary of like what you said at your friend's birthday of like, love you, I'm here, I showed up for you, but I'm gonna do something for me too. And like 45 minutes is I hit my cap. And
Hmm.
like I don't wanna be at your birthday miserable. So I'm just gonna see myself out.
Hmm. And it's like at that point, girl, you're not gonna remember if I'm here or not. Like, you're good. It's just pain. It's literally painful. It's not just sure you could muscle through, but like for
Yeah.
what? For literally what? I'll sit in the car and I'll drive you guys home in an hour. I'll literally do anything to
Yeah.
get out of this environment right now. I can't physically be
Yeah.
right here,
And there's
bruh.
power in like setting a boundary, like especially when like you have those people pleasing tendencies, like of like standing up for like what you feel like is right for yourself. Like that only gives me more confidence, like do it the next time. Like
Hmm.
one again, but two better, you know? So yeah, it's a learning process. Like I'm definitely still trying to break those cycles, but you were not wrong. Let's just say that. Definitely not.
Say it again, say it louder.
Make my head bigger, why don't you?
Nothing strokes a Leo's ego like telling him they were right.
Not us both being fire signs too. Like, good night. Good night.
I love it. And speaking of boundaries, I feel like that's another big one too that I've become so much stronger at. Just since I stopped drinking 2 years ago, I was starting a brand new
Hmm.
job at the beginning of the new year. And I was like, I'm not, and it was like my job intro into sales. And I was like, I'm not fucking this up. I'm
Yeah.
not like dicking around anymore. And I just got so good at saying no, like respectfully, no. No, I can't do that. No, I don't want to do that. No, I can't be here for this. No, no, I'd actually just rather sit at home and that's okay. That was something that I always felt guilty for was just like being like I just actually just need to be alone. Like just because you have alone time doesn't mean that you need to
Hmm.
fill it and like see a friend or do something productive. And I just the boundary setting has gotten to a new level and I'm so honest and so polite about it. I'm not gonna fucking lie. And nothing
Hmm.
pisses me off more than when people say yes and then cancel the day of or like 30 minutes, whatever. That shit pisses me off so much. And I was like, I'm not going to be that person anymore. And I didn't do that too
Hmm.
much, but that was part of it. And then you have this immense guilt like leading
Yep.
up to it of, oh my God, I don't want to go to this thing. Oh my God, I don't want to go. So I've just gotten so good at just doing what is right for me, what feels good for me, and being
Hmm.
so in tune with my fucking self. Like
Yep.
my gut instinct is so strong and sometimes I think it's anxiety, but every time that I've looked, I can look back and be like, no, that was my gut telling me that this was not the right thing to do. And I was trying to
Hmm.
push it down. But no, my intuition is strong as fuck. I don't know if you
No,
feel the
and like,
same.
I mean, your intuition and myself included, like, it was listening to us, like, with what we were feeling, what we're going through, that led us to being like, no, my gut is telling me, like, I need to be sober.
Hmm.
So I
Hell
think it
yeah.
applies to that too. And it only gets
Hmm.
stronger like as you hit like
As
a
you
year and a half of
validate it.
sobriety. Like
Hmm.
I can only imagine like what's to come for me when I hear that like you're continue to just crush it and crush it even more. The amount of changes you've seen.
You're gonna be like, what the fuck? I can't even conceptual not even that I'm like super far into this, but whoa, my earbud just went crazy. Hello. Okay. Um, I just this is my first pair of I bought these for this so that we would be using like the same
So
shit. So I'm like, these are so weird. But anyway, forgot what we were talking.
what were we talking about?
Bro, the way
What
that
were we
my
talking
brain
about?
just
No, we were talking about boundaries. We were talking about just like saying no, showing up
oh
as
yeah, yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't like I do remember 100 days, but like I can't like feel that in my body anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's like I
Hmm.
remember 15 when I was 15, but like I don't remember how it feels. So I'm really excited for you to get to just like each milestone and keep talking with you because it's like, oh, I just love it for you. And I love being to not like that I'm some fucking genius, but I love being able to like impart some of the nuggets that I've learned along the way and also just like like the stages of like just wait, like you
Yeah.
just fucking wait.
No, it means a lot, and it even goes further to like because we've known each other before us making this change too, and like being with someone in that kind of journey along the way to like also reach out to. Like I think I reached out to you before I even decided to do it.
I think it
Yeah,
was like right on the cusp. Maybe a little while, like once, maybe 6 months before you did it, maybe, and then I feel like right before you did it, and then when you did it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel is the timeline. I don't know.
But it's like even though like you started this saying like even though I don't have as many followers, it's like but you're still making like regardless of the follower count, like think about the difference you've made. Like you know what
Girl,
I'm
if I could
saying?
I reached one person and that's all that
Yes,
matters.
yes. Like it really does make a difference. Like none of that shit matters. Just speak what's on the mind, and like that will land with someone.
That's what I'm looking for too. I talked about this in the last episode briefly, but I'm not like I not that I even think I would ever become like some mega influencer, but I just
Yeah,
want to find like my core group of like 50 to 100 women that just like we all fucking
yeah.
fuck with each other and like grow and are just like locked the fuck in like
And
you
you
know.
have like you got it. Like I truly believe like you put the power into. I mean, I like to say manifestation, and like we can attain anything we want. So it's like you can very much
100%.
have that. It just like obviously takes work to do. So just don't
100%,
let up
100%.
on that because you do make a difference. And like there needs to be more of, I guess, young women in sobriety talking about this. And because we don't have like the journey that's stereotypical for a lot of what people see as like alcoholism or like problematic drinking, it's like we just realized like we had the job, we had friends, we had apartments, like we
Mm-hmm.
had all those things and we still were very unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I needed more representation of like people our age going through the same thing to be like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not alone in how I'm feeling and like it's okay.
100%. And it doesn't have to be like rock bottom, I'm homeless, I've ruined my entire fucking life to like decide that
Yeah.
you like we can actually nip that in the butt. We can actually but that's truly that's where it would I mean, I don't think I would have become homeless and shit, but like my life probably I mean, I know it would not be good. I wouldn't feel as fulfilled. I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't like feel such a connection to the Lord and the spirit and the fucking universe. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't think my life would be nearly as fulfilled. So I'm glad that I wasn't like just ignoring it the way that I feel like a lot of people do. And speaking of
Yeah.
like the spiritual side of things, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. This has like brought us together more. Obviously, we've connected here and there in the past, so but I'm not sure
Mm-hmm.
like when did you start manifesting and
Mm-hmm.
do you feel like it got stronger as you've taken a break from drink or not taken a break, you've stopped
Yeah.
drinking?
I think no, I think it's gotten stronger 100% since I stopped drinking because since I stopped drinking, I've noticed I become just more grateful for life. Honestly, like it really just makes you think about the little things more and show up more presently. And I've noticed that's kind of a huge part of the changes I see. Like I'm just more like aware and I don't allow like the petty shit to get to me as much. I can sit more in uncomfortability, which is like always I'm always trying to run away from things. Always. I hate confrontation. Yeah, like I felt like I would just get easily agitated. And it was a lot of like the cycle of life I was living that I just like I hated myself, honestly. And that's not gonna bring you like what you want out of life if you're looking at things with such a negative lens. And like it sounds corny, I guess we can bring up manifestation like when it applies to dating. Like they tell you, I think a lot of in dating TikTok culture, they'll be like, oh, write a list of what you want in a partner and manifest that. And I think, and I learned through therapy, it's like write that list and then be that version of yourself.
Hmm.
And that will
Hmm.
manifest probably the right person that should be in your life. Yeah, I think I did it with dating, I did it with my career. Like I just got a new license. I'm like working on
Oh,
getting a private practice
congrats.
right now. So like yeah.
Let's go,
So
girl.
yeah, it's a lot of like manifestation slash goal setting. Because I definitely can
Hmm.
tap more into like the meditation piece of the manifestation.
And you can
But
just focus more on
yeah,
that shit. Like, when
yeah.
you're hungover, I did the math one day, or rather, ChatGPT did the math. And if you spend every Sunday hungover, that's 15% of your life. 15% of your life.
Thank you so much for
15!
that. Thank you so much for that. I needed to hear that today. That's
Because you,
crazy.
girl, I know. And some people are doing that every weekend. Like,
I was. This
girl,
is the
me
thing, like
too.
I don't judge people because like that's the life I was living and that
Mm-mm.
works for some. I just hated
It makes
myself
me
for living like that.
Yeah. And it makes me sad. Like I definitely sound judgy right now, and I am a little bit
That's
touched.
on that.
But also, especially for just my friends, I'm like, no, stop. Like you have so I see all this potential in my friends and I like want them to succeed and be the best possible versions of
Mm-hmm.
themselves. And I'm like, just stop. Even if it's not permanent, just stop for a little bit and your life will
Mm-hmm.
that's a whole extra day. Like that's a whole extra day, dude. I would maybe not have Sundays are my day to edit this podcast and I do my band practice on Sunday. I wouldn't have either of those hobbies,
Yeah,
either rather side passion project things going if I was drinking. I wouldn't have the like time to
so
focus on
true.
it, to dedicate to it. I'd just be busy like ailing a hangover or
Yep.
healing a hangover.
But it wasn't even just
Uh,
a Sunday, dude. Like it was like literally like obviously you're like debilitated on Sunday, but then it's like that carried me on to the week and then I just
mm-hmm.
rinse and repeat type shit. So
100%. It's like Monday, you would still be kind of tired. Like, you don't feel as shitty, but you're still tired. You're still not 100%.
hmm
Tuesday, you're like, I guess I'm a little bit better. Wednesday, Thursday are good. Like, and then
hmm
Friday, you're like you said, starting the cycle all over again. This is something my sister deals with a lot. She gets the Monday scaries real bad. Like, and
bad,
I'm like,
dude.
and it's especially if you work in person, if you don't have the luxury of working from home on a Monday, bruh. Bro, the
But it's
idea
like,
of walking into an office with fluorescent lighting, I'd be like,
yo, for real, because I work from home on Mondays. I wouldn't do anything on Mondays.
yeah,
Like, I
it's a
would sit
whole
here and
other
not
day
do work.
wasted.
And I would
Yeah.
just look for the dopamine just to get me out of that cycle by like excessive shopping, buying things I shouldn't, like just for like the hell of it. Like when it came to anything, when it came to makeup, when it came to food, like anything that would give me that instant gratification, I wanted it because like I
Hmm.
couldn't deal with like the anxiety I was having from like these hangovers. Like I think it got worse like as I got older, I think for sure.
Hmm.
But because I want to be a productive person, I want to do things. I live in New York City and I felt like I was being like, there's so much to do here and I'm wasting my time on my couch, you know?
A
So,
hundred fucking percent. I
yeah.
literally feel that spiritually. I'm just like, mhm. And in that same vein, there's so much to do in this city as well, in Austin. Why do you want to spend it, like, even if you, even just like
Yeah.
words, why would you want to like go out and drink? Like, there are so many things you could do on the weekend. Why are we just going to bars and bars and bars? Oh, cool, another like swanky bar with moody lighting.
You can
Cool.
get that
Like,
anywhere. Yeah.
bro, go once, maybe a month for a fucking whatever Instagrammable moment you need, but like there are so many concerts, there's so
Hmm.
much nature, there is so much comedy, there's so many different like forms of art around,
Hmm.
or dare I say, me connection and conversation with just your friends and your boyfriend and whoever else. Like, God forbid we connect on a real level and we're not just like getting fucked up and not remembering what we talked about.
Real, real. I think too, like that definitely is a realization you come to. Like when you get sober too, it's like the amount of time I wasted in like traveling and like going to places where you literally are spending the beautiful time, the PTO that you took off of work to be sitting in a bar. Like, why? Why? And then it's crazy because like I have this vacation coming up in June. My best friend is getting married, and like obviously that was something that I when I first was like I'm not doing this anymore was something that was in the back of my mind. I was like future tripping of like, what am I gonna do about this wedding, about this trip? But now that I have that mindset, I'm like, wait, no, this is actually so exciting because I'm literally gonna be in Greece with all my friends. There's so much to do and to explore. I'm gonna have that energy. I'm gonna wake up early. I have the whole day.
Hmm.
And something about that is so freeing to me. So, I mean, I'm sure we'll see what happens when it comes, but that's just kind of the mindset I'm trying to look at it now.
I think it'll be just
But
fine.
yeah.
Is this Caroline by any chance? Other
No, this is my
Caroline?
friend Alexander. She's my friend from Jersey. We've been friends since like third grade.
Okay, okay. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, Carol. Wait, she's already married. I forgot. She's having a
Hmm.
kid. Third.
She is.
I was like, she's having some sort of life event right now. Shout out her. Hope she's doing great.
Yes.
But that's gonna be amazing. And it's with besties too, so I feel like it'll be a little bit easier. It's not like I feel like especially at a stranger's wedding, or not a stranger, but like, an acquaintance where everyone else is pretty much a stranger, you're like, ah. I had a friend who one of Ella. I don't know if I should
Yes.
say her name, so I'll just scratch
Well,
that out.
she actually, speaking of that person, she's reached out to me about her own journey as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
she stopped drinking and she was telling me how she was nervous because she had a wedding to go to. And it was the first one where she had to be sober and like blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I get that because that's a really energetic place too. It's a different kind of energy, but that can feel very chaotic, especially, and it's such like a drinking oriented environment. I
Hmm.
wonder if I have a wedding, what that's going to be like. Speaking
Hmm.
of weddings and love. I'm just so excited to hear more about your dating journey. Your
Yes.
dating journey. I guess what would you say are some of like the core differences? What do you, I don't, and just like tell us about this special
Oh,
man in your
tea.
life.
Oh my gosh. So it's funny because so when I was doing that whole sober curiosity thing, like I was actually going to dates here like sober. I would try it out, experiment with the bit. Obviously, it didn't go anywhere with those people, but like it gave me practice on like how it was like because I really genuinely, even when I was drinking, like I wanted a genuine connection. Like I was seeking a serious relationship. Was I
Hmm.
gonna find it with the life I was living? I do not think so. I don't. And I think I was looking in the wrong places for someone of the caliber that I was looking for. And so yeah, dating was really hard. I've lived here almost like 5 years now, and like dating in New York City is rough. It's
I've
not for the
heard.
weak. It's not for the weak, but I also like definitely had my own faults, like old insecurities and just like, like just a lot of like the serious conversations or like wanting the ways in which I wanted to express my feelings. Like I was doing that through alcohol in a lot of ways. Like I would use it as a crutch to say how I
Mm,
was really feeling. And yeah, it just wasn't a fun way to, again, try to like experiment a connection with someone because it's like most of the time there really wasn't a connection. You were just had those like
con
rose colored glasses on. There wasn't a connection. There
that
wasn't a
part.
connection. And yeah, so like when I stopped drinking, I was like, fuck this. I'm done. I don't, are you familiar with like Lucy Hale's journey in sobriety? Are familiar with it?
No, she's an actress, right?
Yeah.
I no. No, I don't know. I just was like, I know who that is. No, I
So
don't know anything about her.
So I would recommend you and your listeners to like check out if you are curious about like being sober, like checking out her Call Her Daddy. And listen, I'm not a listener of that podcast, just putting that out there. But that one episode was recommended me to listen to, and it really helped because she was pretty much just like, if you she's sober and she was going through like dating in sobriety and was like, if you think dating is gonna suck, it's gonna suck.
Mm,
And it's really just all about your mindset. And like a lot of the times, like it's put out there, of course, like men do suck. We know that. Like that is a fact. But like your person is out there and there is someone that actually is going to show up and like treat you right. You just have to believe in
percent. I
it.
feel like I found such more compassion for like the male human, like for men in general when I got sober because like you're saying, when I was drinking, I was not picking good guys. Like
Mhm.
I was not clear on my own intentions and thus attracted men who were also unclear with their intentions. And it
Yeah.
led me to create this like confirmation bias of all men suck, men are the worst. And I said that all the time. And I said that to my friends and I said it to myself and I said it to everyone on this podcast. Like I said that shit all the fucking time. And I finally had a little
Hmm.
moment with myself and I was like, girl, if you say all like manifestation is such a huge part of my sobriety journey, like you
Hmm.
are manifesting that shit. And so I just was like,
Yep.
everyone is an adult, everyone is a baby in an adult body, and like guys are also doing this life for the first time, and they are
Hmm.
also traumatized in their own way, and like we have to have compassion for them too. And I feel like once I kind of came to that consensus and started becoming more refined and the types of guys that I wanted to date and what I was looking for and just became so clear and concise. I was attracting such nicer guys and not
Hmm.
all of them were winners, but I was getting treated much nicer. I was getting taken to
Yeah.
actual dates and like brought flowers and like things were being planned out and I was getting picked up and all these things. So it's definitely, there are so many good guys out there. But I'm sorry to cut you off because you were on a
No,
good little.
no, because that reminds me of like what you were saying about boundaries of like saying no to things and like saying what you expect of the other person. And like that's what you were doing in those moments of like, this is what I am not going to settle less for. And if, you saw that it wasn't a right fit, you just stopped seeing that person and you communicated it to that person and then on to the next. Like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I think that applies. And for me, like, I didn't date anyone else sober than the boyfriend I have now. And I can't help but think it was a coincidence because it's like when I stopped drinking, I also deleted Hinge because I was like, listen, I want to put my sobriety first. I want to focus on myself. But we had had a conversation when I had to be like I had to be like 10 days out or something. I don't even know. But I was just like, um, I sent my message. I was like, here's my number. Do what you want with this. Like, I'm deleting the app. And that was that. And yeah,
An
and then
ultimatum, you say?
yeah, because I was just like, you know what, I'm tired, but I'm getting something felt different about him, and I was like, but me, I'm just gonna see where this goes. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Keeping it here, and I'm like letting go of the pressure of dating anyone. And I felt like when I was drinking, like I was putting so much pressure on, like, am I gonna meet this person here, or I have to show like, I have to pop out here, I have to do this, and it's like, no, actually, that's not cute, babe. That's not attractive. And
Mm.
I actually, of course, at first it's scary to like express yourself to someone, but it also depends on your partner to like allow you the space to feel comfortable to do so and to feel comfortable allowed me to do that in a way that like felt right and ultimately led us to like allowing our connection to grow and like lead to us like being in a relationship and like a very healthy one at that. Like it's crazy. Like it's crazy. Like every box that I have on that list on my journal, he checks off every single box. And like yeah, myself included, like I'm the best version of myself that I can be in this moment in time too. So it only makes sense that, we're here in this moment and it's working and it's great. Yeah, I'm really happy. I've never been in a relationship before, by the way. So like the fact that it all kind of panned out this way is crazy, but I can only think it's because I'm doing like the best thing for myself. So yeah.
Aw. I have tears.
My
On my
therapist
period.
cried when I told her.
I'm on my period, so I'm just like emotional too. I'm like, that was fucking beautiful.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you. Because you've seen me go through like so many different things. I not like I was like dating in college, but just like, you know,
Mm.
just the bullshit that men put you through, whether you're officially dating or not, like
Mm-hmm.
it's hard out there.
It's rough. It's rough in the streets. I'm happy to be off 'em.
I know. Me too.
Well, shit. This was so fun. I feel like this is a perfect little place to wrap up, ending it with
Yes.
your beautiful love story.
His name is Jonathan. He's great.
Jonathan! We love
Shout out.
him. Shout out.
Yes. Yes.
Send him
You'll
this.
have to come visit us soon. And your
Girl,
boyfriend
I
as
simply
well. I want
must.
to meet
You
your
gotta
man.
come here too,
Yes. Yes, I will.
or I'll
I
fight
do
you.
because I want to see my girl Jules. Shout out. I love you. I miss you.
She misses and loves you too. She's jealous that we talk. No, I'm just kidding. She is. I'm just kidding.
Tell her I send her all my love, but hopefully she listens to this.
She listens here and there.
Yeah.
She's one of my loyal listeners.
Okay. Amazing. Well, we
She's a
love
real
you.
one.
I
Love
appreciate you so
Jules.
much for asking me to do this. This has been amazing.
Girl, I'm so happy that you came on, and we'll definitely have to reconvene at maybe like your year mark or something like that. I
Yes.
feel like that would be fun.
Yes. Let's definitely do this again. Let's
Any
collaborate.
girl, you want to collab?
Hey, girlie.
Hey. Do you have any parting words for the listeners? Any parting wisdom? It's totally cool if
Any
you're
part of
wisdomed out.
wisdom? No. If your gut is telling you that you have a problem with drinking, you probably do.
That part.
Yeah.
And I feel like mic drop. We can just leave that
Yeah,
there.
we can leave it there. That's the
All
shit
right,
I
my
needed
friend.
to hear. I'm all about the hard love. So
Me
love you,
too. Me
sister
too.
Seth.
Love you. Thank you for coming
Yes.
on. And that's it. Bye.
Bye.